ProWrestlingTees.com/616Entertainment is the home of all official 616 Entertainment merchandise. Pick up a shirt, you'll be glad you did. This video is also brought to you in part by the Patreon producers, without whom content like this would not be possible. What's up, Dan-Dans? My name is Ian, and this is a very special video. It's 75,000 subscribers. That's the milestone we just passed around here. And I thought it would be very cool if not only do I put up a subscriber milestone poll where you guys get to choose the bonus video you want to see next, I figured, fuck it, let's also do a video Q&A. We did one of these a couple months ago, and it went over way better than I thought it would, so I thought let's do it again. First up, we've got Ninjik6. What the fuck does that say? You guys gotta work on these names. Ninjik6 says, how about you do a video ranking of your favorite Mortal Kombat characters? Well, Mortal Kombat Monday, at the time you are seeing this, Season 2 of Mortal Kombat Monday is going to be kicking off very soon, and ranking my favorite MK characters is very possible for Season 2. I actually addressed this in an upcoming episode of MK Monday that I recorded a week ago, but you're not going to see for like 2 or 3 weeks. It's all fucked up. Cobro1 says, overall, what do you think was/is the best wrestling company of all time? Also, congratulations on 75,000 subscribers. Well, thank you very much, Cobro1. What was/is the best wrestling company of all time? I guess it kind of depends on how you're ranking it. If you're looking at match quality, that's all going to come down to opinion, because some people like deathmatch wrestling, some people like a Bret Hart, Kurt Angle classic technical affair. Match quality all comes down to opinion, but if you're talking about like most successful, longest running, it's got to be WWE. I really don't like WWE, and I don't watch it at all. We're gonna cover that later. Someone has a question about that, but yeah, it kind of depends on how you rank it. I grew up a WCW kid, so I take WCW over WWF any day. Even in the mid-2000s, I was a TNA guy. I was not into mid-2000s WWE. And nowadays, I'm an AEW guy. So across the board, I've never really been a WWE guy, and that's just the way it is. Megawad says, you've mentioned that you watch AEW, so who are your favorite wrestlers in the company currently? That's a good question. I'm recording this the day after AEW Revolution, and I'm hoping to have this video up tomorrow, aka Tuesday, so AEW is fresh on the mind. Obviously, Sting is my favorite wrestler of all time. I'm wearing this shirt that I got from my girlfriend, the beautiful Tara Darcy. I'm a big fan of Darby Allin. I'm a big fan of Britt Baker. She's one of my favorites to watch. I'm not going to tell you who I don't like because I don't want to be negative. I think I'd probably also throw in John Silver, Orange Cassidy, Ricky Starks, a bunch of guys, bunch of people in AEW I really like. Gotta work on the women's division. We gotta work on the women's division. You got talented women in AEW. What the fuck are you doing with them? Hikaru Shida's the champion. Where has she been? She's like never on TV. Fucking do this whole tournament and you have a Japanese wrestler win it that none of the American fans know who she is. You give them 20 minutes on paper. Gotta work on the women's division. Cameron D says, congratulations, Ian. You seem to have the momentum of a runaway train. Why are you so popular? I think that we have an amazing community here. I think my content brings in new people all the time, and I think a lot of people decide to stay when they flip through the comments and they see how a lot of you guys are. So I give you guys some of that credit as well. Why am I so popular? I wish I was more popular. When the channel first exploded in 2018 from the History of Mortal Kombat, I was like, I want to hit 100,000 subscribers. That's my goal. I want to hang that fucking silver plaque on my wall. That's going to be huge. We're still not there. We're trucking along. But man, I wanted that shit yesterday. You know what I mean? Jonathan DeQuattro says, congratulations, Ian. That's a huge milestone. Thank you, Jonathan. You'll get to your ultimate goal in no time. I just have 2 small questions. Take 2. When will Triangle X Squared Circle release WWE SmackDown vs. Raw 2007? And do you plan to swerve us again by adding WWE SmackDown vs. Raw 2008 as well? After all, that was the last SVR game you ever encountered before the end of an era. When am I going to cover 07 on Triangle X Squared Circle? I don't know. eventually. I'm not going to tell you when. I only ever tell you what the next episode is going to be at the end of the episode that you're watching. I never show my hand. I never say, like, here's the whole run for season 2. And if you want full transparency, it's because I don't fucking know. I don't have the whole thing mapped out for those. Like, obviously, the history of Halloween, I know I'm going to do all the Halloween movies. But for Triangle X Squared Circle, I literally will look at my shelf and be like, let's do WrestleMania, the arcade game. And then I don't choose what I'm going to do next until I'm recording my on-camera parts for the script. You know what I mean? That's when I'm like, what am I going to do next? I decide right then and there. So there is no long road plan. Am I going to swerve you again and do SVR 08? If I was going to, I wouldn't tell you. And I've been very honest about the fact that I have no plans to do 08 or 09 or 10 or 11 or really anything after that. So it's all up in the air. We'll see. Jonathan DeQuattro also asks, were you a part of the WWE Thunderdome for Raw or SmackDown? One of the fans looked just like you. No. I don't watch Raw or SmackDown. I wouldn't dare ask to be on those screens because that means I would have to watch the show, and I do not want to do that. Brett Jarvis says, congrats, man. It's so awesome to be a part of this community. It's crazy how nobody here knows one another, but we all are like long-lost friends. Actually, some of you guys do know each other if you're a member of the 616 Entertainment Discord. I am going to put a link in the description of this video. Any of you guys who want to come join the Discord, feel free to do so. We talk about movies, we talk about wrestling, we talk about, there's a free-for-all discussion. If you want to talk about babes, there's a how you doing section. Pets, there's all sorts of shit to do on that Discord. You guys can get to know each other a little better. That's actually one of the goals I've had for this channel and community is I wanted to have a place where you guys can hang out and I don't even have to be there, you know? So, and it's going pretty well. We've got a pretty tight community over there. Well, I don't remember what your question was. Oh yeah, Brett Jarvis says, I do have a question that I'm not sure has been asked or not. What do you do as your day job or is YouTube full-time? I had the same job from 2011 to March 2020, and that's right around the time that COVID hit. Since March of 2020, this is what I do. And this, I have grown this to the point, and you guys have shown me support to the point that through the pandemic era, I've been able to do just this. But when shit starts to open back up and there's more things that you can go do, I don't think that's going to fly anymore because I'm definitely going to be spending more money when that time comes. You know, just going out, going on dates, going out with friends. So I'm probably going to have to jump back into the real world, which sucks because I want to do this full time. But yeah, for the past almost year now, this has been what I do. So all of you guys that watch the videos on YouTube, I appreciate it. And everybody who supports me over on patreon.com/616entertainment, you have allowed me to do this. And you guys, some of you know, I had COVID 2 months ago and I almost died. That's a shoot. That's not a joke. I almost died. And I do not have a strong immune system. So I was scared shitless of getting COVID. I have been so careful. I got it anyway. And, I'm so fucking scared of ever feeling like that again. So going back into the real world is it's a very scary idea. So if we could wind up with 1 million subscribers overnight and I can dedicate everything I have to this, that would be fantastic. Cody Kalana. I hope I said that right. If I didn't, you gotta let me know. Congrats, bud. Do you play any battle/trading card games? Nope. I wish I had a better answer for you. I wish I had some stories I could tell, but I do not. Sorry. TG5455 says, congratulations. What are your favorite fights in MMA? There are a lot of good ones. I think my favorite fight of all time is probably Shogun versus Dan Henderson 1. Their rematch is good as well, but Shogun Henderson 1 is probably my favorite fight ever. Sam Stout versus Spencer Fisher 3 is a great fucking fight. And I'm just going to give you those two for now. Those are both so good. And if you guys have any interest in MMA, if you're not a big fan, look up both of those fights. If you're not a fan after those fights, you're not going to like MMA. That's just how it goes. Ryan Lederbach says, what are your favorite fatalities from each Mortal Kombat game? Ryan, I did a video from Mortal Kombat Monday Season 1 where I ranked all of the MK1 fatalities. There's only 7 of them in that game, but I ranked them so you can tell what my favorite Mortal Kombat 1 fatality is. And in MK Monday Season 2, there's a pretty good chance that you're going to see more of these videos. So as I do more of them, you can pick them all out one by one. I can't give you spoilers because then nobody would watch the video. Catmore9 says, "Congrats, Ian. You deserve this and much more. You take the time to respond and engage with your subscribers. That says a lot about you as a person. We appreciate it." I appreciate you guys. That's why I take a long time to engage and respond to you guys, because I appreciate you. Quick question. Based on the analytics, do you think more of your subscribers are MK fans or wrestling fans, or is it about 50-50? I would have assumed that more of you guys were Mortal Kombat fans, at least a small majority, because the history of Mortal Kombat is what blew the channel up in the first place. But I actually put up a poll, so I do have analytics, about a year ago, I think. And I asked, do you prefer my Mortal Kombat or my wrestling content, or what are you here for? And I think it was like 68% to 32%. That's math, right? Yeah. I think it was like 68 to 32 for wrestling, which blew me away. I didn't think it was that big of a discrepancy. And I didn't think wrestling would be the majority. But I don't know if it's still 68 to 32. And I don't know if that's the exact number. That's what I remember. I'll put it on screen. And I don't know if I put that poll up now, if it would be even more lopsided for wrestling or if it would be closer towards the middle. I have no idea. But I don't ever want my channel to be a Mortal Kombat channel or to be a wrestling channel. I'm constantly going to switch shit up. And that's why I did the history of Resident Evil. And that's why I'm doing the history of Halloween. I don't ever want this channel to be too pigeonholed, because I like a bunch of shit. You know, and for as much wrestling content as I do, I don't even like wrestling that much. You know, I grew up with it. I loved it. But like modern day stuff, I watch AEW every week. That's it. I don't watch Japanese wrestling. I don't watch Ring of Honor. I don't watch NXT. I don't watch Impact. I don't keep up with it. So, yeah, I'm always going to be doing all sorts of different shit. Appease says, I think that's how you say that. If I fucked it up, let me know. "Congrats, Ian. Even though I only just found your channel during the lockdown last year, boy, I'm glad I did. Your retrospective videos, your love for wrestling really makes me come back for more." I didn't read this ahead of time and I thought you had a question. Everybody who just wrote in positive shit, I appreciate it. I'm going to go through and I'm going to respond to you, but on the video, I've been only taking the ones that are actually questions, except for this one because I fucked up. Scott LeBeau. That's a great name. Says, "What are your thoughts on Big Show going to AEW?" I think it's great because they're going to put him in a commentary role for AEW Dark Elevation. And Big Show is like a 20-plus year vet, and I think he's going to be great for the AEW locker room. I think one of AEW's great strengths is that they have a lot of young, hot, up-and-coming talent, but it's the little things about AEW that kind of drive me nuts. If you watched Revolution the other night, this team, Bear Country, comes out. And one guy picks up another guy in a tombstone position, and he tombstones the guy he's holding onto another guy. One match later, or two, doesn't matter, a guy picks up a dude in a tombstone, and he tombstones him on another guy. And the announcers go, "I don't think I've ever seen that before." You did 15 minutes ago. Jericho and MJF faced the Young Bucks, and Jericho at one point countered a flying Young Buck with a code breaker. In the tag team battle royale, which I think was the very next match, a guy he jumps over the top rope, grabs a guy and hits him with a code breaker. You can't do that shit. We can't be seeing the same big moves in match 1 and 2. It's the little things like that bother me. And maybe it's because I'm a cynical wrestling fan and I've been watching wrestling for a long, long time. Maybe a casual fan doesn't notice that. But AEW is not for casual fans. They know exactly who their audience is. They're going after the hardcores. And I don't like that. So I think somebody like Big Show, and especially someone like Christian and Sting, people like that backstage are going to see that. And they're going to say like, hey, don't do that fucking move. Jericho does the code breaker. Don't be doing code breakers right after his match. It's the little things. Death Prevails 713 says, "Congratulations, Ian. Do you have any paranormal events that have happened to you as a kid or as an adult? And if you could please tell the story. The first one that usually pops into my head was about 15 or so years ago. I was at my mom's house, and I'm downstairs. And it was only myself and my mom were in the house at the time. And there was, my mom had just gotten a little baby Victorian bulldog, a little puppy. Her name was Wrinkles. I love that dog. I'm downstairs, and I'm hearing dum, 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 like footsteps back and forth upstairs. And that's not uncommon. When someone else is in the house, you're going to hear that person walk around, especially if you're downstairs, if you're below them, you know. So I hear it, and then I hear it again, and then I hear it again, and then I hear it again. And eventually it gets annoying. I'm like, what the fuck is going on upstairs that is causing, who I assume is my mom, to be walking back and forth? Is she playing with the dog? If she's playing with the dog, I want to play with the goddamn dog. So I go upstairs to find out what's going on, and I don't know where she is. The dog isn't there. And then I look out the window, and my mom is standing there holding the dog, talking to the neighbor. And so I open the door, and I'm just like, did you just come out here? And she was like, no, I've been out here for 25, 30 minutes. There was maybe 10 seconds that passed between the last set of footsteps and me going upstairs to find out what was going on. So who the fuck was walking back and forth upstairs? I don't know. Also, little piece of trivia that I guess is pretty useful that I forgot to tell for that story. That house had burned down some years before that and had been rebuilt. Did someone die in that fire? I don't know. Shabadab says, hell yeah, Dan. Ever lived in another state? No. If so, what was it like? No. Ultimate K Pit 42 says, have you ever seen the cartoon Imucha Kucha? I have no fucking idea what that is. Mr. Chicano X, or Mr. Chicanox, says, how about a poll on a roster for a new Def Jam Vendetta? And I actually responded, what do you mean? He says, like, if they finally did a legit DJV Part 3, who would you put in their roster? I mean, new rappers, old rappers, that type of roster. And I was confused. Because now you're asking me who would I put on the roster, but at first you said, how about a poll on a roster? And that's why I was confused to begin with, because I could just put up a poll that says, like, all the different lists of rappers. That wouldn't be me choosing it or booking it. That would be you guys doing it. Which maybe is a good idea. That could be a fun thing. You get to choose one of these guys that's going to be on the roster. You might be onto something here. Cody Man says, huge congrats, Ian. Always look forward to your wonderful content, man. I should start pre-reading these because I thought you had a question. But thank you. Jimmy enjoys soup. So, soup can be good. So glad to see your channel continue to grow. Is Halloween your favorite horror franchise, or what made you pick that slasher to make a series on? Halloween is my favorite horror franchise. That kind of is what leads me to choose the things that I do history ofs on. Like, I get questions all the time. Can you do the history of Metal Gear Solid? Can you do the history of Tekken? And I have to say, like, no, I can't, because I don't have deep knowledge on those. And I'm not going to do a series of videos where I'm speaking with authority on a subject that I can't speak with authority on, you know? So Halloween is probably the only horror franchise that I can do a history of on. Maybe Friday the 13th. But yeah, Halloween's my favorite for sure. And that's what made me pick it. Charles Marquez says, congrats, dude, especially since you were robbed at the Royal Rumble. Looking forward to the new content and the Halloween retrospective. Carl is referring to the season finale of 616 SmackDown, where Stone Cold Steve Austin fucked me. Not literally, but kind of literally. His question, if you could create a character to slot into the MK universe, who would it be? A ninja? An ex-MMA fighter? Also, what about a video where you create a wrestler and take them into story mode? If I could create a character to slot into Mortal Kombat, who would it be? I don't know. I've never really thought about that. What I think would be easier to answer, and maybe more fun to answer because there's more variables to play with, is what characters would I use as DLC to slot into Mortal Kombat? And that is a good idea for Mortal Kombat Monday Season 2. And your second part, what about create a wrestler and take them into a story mode? I'll do that. I kind of am doing that right now on 616 Nitro as I play through the TNA Impact story mode. That first episode of that didn't do so hot. So I'm getting the feeling that playing through full story modes, like part 1, part 2, part 3, With 616 SmackDown, when I did Here Comes the Pain with Matt Hardy, every installment of that did worse than the one before it. So now with TNA, the first one didn't even do that good. I feel like most of you guys don't want to see me do full playthroughs. If I'm wrong about that, let me know, but at the same time, you are letting me know already by less of you are tuning in for them. So maybe we'll have an adjustment there. I don't know. Probably not, to be honest, because on MK Monday Season 2, I'm going to play all the way through Shaolin Monks. I'm going to play through Deception's Conquest mode, and that's just the way it is. And if you don't like it, you don't have to watch it. But those who do like it will watch it, and that's all I care about. Jane asks, how many wrestling figures did you have as a child? A lot. In the History of SmackDown, Part 1, there's a part where there's footage like panning over a bunch of wrestling action figures and belts and other assorted toys. I literally got that footage from taking an old bin of toys that I had and dumping it out on the floor and just running my phone over it because I shot all my videos with my phone back then. So all of those were mine, and that was fun. Those were very fun. I had a bunch of wrestling figures. Also, Jane, it's nice to see a name like Jane in my comments. I can see my analytics, and on a good day, like 2% of my viewer base is female. So, a lot of dudes around here. It's nice. It's nice to see some a little bit of variety. You know, I don't feel like I make stuff that's only for dudes. You know, I feel like a little bit of everybody likes wrestling. I feel like there's definitely a female sect that likes Mortal Kombat. I don't know. Cherry Picking Cards says, any thoughts on how trading cards across the board are on fire? Yeah, this shit is nuts right now. And a lot of what is happening is, I don't want to say like market manipulation, but as far as I can tell, I don't feel like trading cards across the board were blowing up until people like Jeremy Padower, the head of Wicked Cool Toys, and whichever fucking Paul brother that is. I feel like cards across the board started to blow up after people huge into the Pokemon card scene started talking about how much money they were spending on complete sets and like what this is going to be worth down the line. Jeremy Padower is huge on that. He tries to tell you how to collect and how to invest through collecting. I feel like after those big Pokemon purchases came out, that's when wrestling trading cards and all this other shit really started to blow up. Because if you follow the market, you know that people are looking at like the WWF trivia game, like the card of The Rock, like Rocky Maivia from that trivia game. eBay right now is like, that's The Rock's rookie card, and they're going for like $600 in a fucking trivia game. It is insane. Cards across the board are totally on fire right now. You know that. Your name is fucking Cherry Picking Cards. So you probably know better than I do, and I could be totally wrong, and you could be watching this going like, he doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about. It's very likely. And if I don't, you have to educate me. You have to be in the comments and tell me that what I said was totally wrong. Tell me what's true. Oswald says, what does this community that you have mean to you? I feel like almost every time I leave a comment, you respond. Considering this isn't your full-time job, what continues to motivate you to invest time and money into this? So that's several questions. I'll try to take them one at a time. What does this community that you have mean to you? A shitload. This community is very important to me. I've told the story before, so I'll try to be quick. I have been on YouTube since 2007. I started making videos with my friends in like 2001 when I was like 10 or 11 years old. And I just always wanted to make movies, make videos, you know what I mean? It's kind of changed over like videos to content. I don't know what the fuck you want to call it. But for like 10 years, I had this channel doing Let's Plays and doing conversational shows with my friends, and there was really like no growth whatsoever. Sorry, I feel like the memory card on screen is telling me that it's full. It wasn't full, we're good. And if it was full, I would just keep going and you'll see the rest of this in audio. So if that does happen, it's not all is lost. The community means everything to me because I had this channel for like 10 years with like zero growth, and I would just fucking like wish that anyone was in the comments who had questions about how the video was made, about myself and my friends who are in the video. Where'd the idea come from? What are you going to do in the future? And no one was ever in the comments because no one was ever really watching. And I always wish I had that. So then the History of Mortal Kombat comes out. I wind up with like 20,000 subscribers in a day because it blew up so big because of the timing of it. A lot of luck was involved. And that's not lost on me. But all of you guys started to show up into the comments, and more of you show up every day. Now you're here. I always wanted this. So if it finally happened, and I became every other YouTuber who just goes like, and I'm flipping through my comments like, you're an asshole. Oh, thank you. Oh, you're a dick. What did I want the whole time? I always wished that I had a community, and you guys are here now, so that it will never be lost on me. I appreciate all of you. Had a couple dickheads in the comments recently, but I'll respond to you guys too. And after you are thoroughly owned, then I'll block you when I'm bored. But yeah, I respond. You say every time you leave a comment, almost every time I respond. I try to do it every time. Sometimes shit slips through the cracks. Sometimes too many days will go by, and then I spend hours going through the comments, and I can only go so far. But I try to get back to all of you guys because I appreciate you. And then you said, considering this isn't your full-time job, what continues to motivate you to invest time and money into this? Like I said earlier, since March 2020, this has been my job, and it would be like, this past year has like been my dream to be able to do this for a living. Never thought I'd be able to do it. So every one of you, I said it before, who supports me on Patreon, you've allowed me to live my dream for the past year. And this is the 75,000, I'm going to pull the curtain back a little here. This is the 75,000 subscriber Q&A video. I have 104 patrons, which is fucking huge. You know how long it took me to break 3 digits? It is enormous to me that 104 of you support me over there. That's unbelievable. But at the same time, that's 104 people out of 75,000 who go over to Patreon to support. So I don't think a lot of people realize that, like when it comes to like donations for like, oh, my dog needs surgery, and then someone throws in like a dime, and they're like, oh, I'm sorry, it couldn't be more, and the person says like, every penny counts. Every penny fucking counts. So everybody who shows me support over there, you make an unbelievable difference. You can't even fathom how much. So like 104 people out of 75,000, if 100 more or even like 500 people, that is life-changing for somebody like me, you know? But like, so 75,000, 500. That's like how much 500 would make up of that. This right here changes the content creator's life. You have no idea. The 104 changes the content creator's life. So what motivates me to keep going isn't to try and turn that 104 into 1,004. If you honestly want to know what motivates me, I want a silver plaque on my wall of that play button that marks 100,000 subscribers. That is a huge deal to me. I will feel like if I can hang one of those on my wall, that will be my most prized possession, without a doubt. Because this is what I always wanted to do, and if I can get one of those fucking things, I will feel like I did what I wanted to do, you know? And some channels will get that first plaque and then all motivation falls off the cliff. That ain't gonna be me. If I get that silver one, I'll be like, I can get that gold one. You know what I'm saying? I'll be like, fuck. You know how nice the gold one's bigger? And it would look real nice sitting next to the silver one. This is what I want to do. You guys have allowed me to do that. So that was a very long-winded answer, but I like to be honest with you guys. So thank you for your question. Goran Elzhubovich, I say on the podcast when I list your name off as a Patreon producer. I don't know if I'm saying that right. And if I'm not, you gotta tell me so I know how to pronounce it in the future. I don't want to fuck up anybody's name. You asked, favorite Britney Spears song. Now I need you to put a little respect on Britney's name because you spelled it wrong. And you said sing instead of song. I need you to put a little bit of respect on the word song. I'm totally kidding. Oh, fuck. Britney's got so many good ones. If you're wondering why he's asking me what my favorite Britney Spears song is, I've worn a Britney Spears shirt in a number of my videos, You would be surprised how many comments I get that say, like, you're a man, why are you wearing a Britney Spears shirt? Because Britney Spears is fucking dope, and she has been forever. And if you are so uncomfortable as a dude that you feel like you can't listen to Britney Spears because you're a guy, I feel sorry for you, and I need you to grow up. If you're one of those people that left those comments, grow up. Will you please? It's okay. You can listen to Britney Spears. She's awesome. But my favorite Britney Spears song, I don't know. I'm a fucking sad bitch. So I like, I'm a big fan of Every Time. I'm a big fan of Lucky. I'm a big fan of some of her more poppy shit. More recently, Slumber Party was an excellent fucking song. Till the World Ends was great. If you go back to the classics, you've got Crazy. You've got, oh goddamn, Britney Spears has too many good songs. I could do a whole video on this. It's just the way it is. Tommy Justice says, you so deserve $1 million. Your dad would be super proud of you. There's no question there, but I really appreciate the kind words, and maybe we'll get $1 million someday. We will. Fuck it. There's no maybe. We're gonna do it. We gotta give it some time, you know what I'm saying? But we'll do it. Ariella21, hold on. You're in the comments all the time, but I'm realizing at this moment I have never spoken your name out loud. So, is it Ariella? Is it Ariella? Is it something completely different? I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. All of these things are possible. You need to let me know if I fucked it up in the comments, and if I did, I sincerely apologize. But your question is, super ultra mega congrats on hitting this milestone, Ian. You deserve every one of those subscriptions, and you're an entertaining content creating machine. It's getting to the point where I cannot you see what I'm talking about? I don't even know what I'm talking about anymore. As someone who works at a bookstore, I'm curious to know if you have any favorite authors you like to read, or genres that you gravitate towards, if you're into reading as a hobby at all, of course. I do like to read. I don't read as much as I would like to, because most of my time goes towards writing and editing and all that bullshit that I do here. But my favorite author, I would say, is probably John Niven. Kill Your Friends is my favorite book. Straight White Male was also really good by John Niven. They're pretty similar in premise, but I really like his style. I actually want to reread Kill Your Friends. I haven't read it probably since I was in high school, but I fucking love that book. And I'm going to leave you with those. I don't want to do too many because then that's too much. Chris Roberts. You gotta tell me. Congratulations. You deserve every bit of success you've gotten and will get in the future. Thank you. You're legitimately one of the last genuine people on this platform that makes shit that you want to make instead of pleasing the almighty algorithm or whatever overlord the other YouTubers bend their knee to. I'll have you guys know, I've gotten some emails recently from companies who are like, if you do an ad in front of your video, we'll send you the product and you get a cut of however many you sell. It's so far, it's been all shit that I make fun of to my friends or have made fun of on my videos. And I don't care what they offer me. I cannot swallow the offer of being like, okay, actually it is pretty good. And if you buy it, it'll be good for you. I can't do it. If anybody out there who has a sick ass product that you'll pay me to promote it, if you got cool shit, I'm all about it. You know what I'm saying? But like some of this stuff that's come through, no, I cannot in good conscience be like, it's a great product. But back to Chris. As far as a question, I guess one thing I'd like to know is, do you have any plans after reaching 100,000? What I want to do after reaching 100,000 is fucking 200,000, 300,000, a million. This is what I want to do. I can only say it so many times. Expand. Do more shit. Do new shit. Can you guys imagine if this got to the point where I could like... I'm not going to spoil any plans, but I have big plans. If this thing gets bigger, my ideas can get bigger. You know what I mean? Leo Wright. Who, in your opinion, is the greatest / your favorite MMA fighter ever? Those are two different questions. Except for when it's not. Because I think the greatest / my favorite MMA fighter ever is probably Anderson Silva. I love the Spider. He's way past his prime now, and I think it's unfortunate that... he's taken a lot of fights at way past his prime that he's lost. guys that he would have smashed when he was in his prime, but that breaks my heart a little bit. But at the same time, you can't force a guy to hang it up. You know, you only get one life, and if he wants to fight for as long as possible, I guess it's not my fucking decision what's going to happen there. Anderson Silva is definitely a contender for the greatest of all time, as is George St. Pierre, as is, without a doubt, the female greatest fighter of all time is Amanda Nunes, without question. Because, like, who else is in that conversation? Like, Ronda Rousey, because she was the first huge deal. Amanda Nunes knocked her the fuck out in the first round. Cyborg Santos, because she was like the first female powerhouse, just crushing women left and right. Amanda Nunes knocked her the fuck out in the first round. So, not that a Valentina Shevchenko could not be in that conversation down the line, but I think the greats are GSP, Anderson Silva, Demetrius Johnson, Daniel Cormier. And if I'm saying Daniel Cormier, then you have to consider someone like Stipe Miocic, who beat DC twice. It's such a fun conversation. I want to do a lot of MMA content on this channel, and as stuff evolves around here, I'm gonna do it eventually. It's just kind of in chapters as I keep going through new things here. I'm doing this a lot. Have you noticed that? I'm Italian. I talk with my hands. But I'll do MMA content, and I don't know if a lot of you guys will enjoy it or if you won't watch it. But that's when more people join the community, because stuff that I wasn't doing before, those people weren't watching before. And what the fuck am I even talking about anymore? TC says, feel glad for you. Been around since 10K. What game have you been playing? Right now I've been playing Pumpkin Jack on I've been playing on my PlayStation 5, but it's a PS4 game, but the backwards compatibility, it just works out. Pumpkin Jack is a very fun game. It's very Tim Burton-y feeling, very Danny Elfman-ish music. It's a fun indie 3D platformer that I recommend if you have a PlayStation, Switch, or an Xbox. Mupo1811 says, I am a Dan and will tell all those hookers in the corner of my fave liquor store to call their pimps. Maybe they know the number of that drunk man that told me he was going to buy shoes for this winter season. Mupo, what the fuck are you talking about? I feel like every time you write in, I have to wonder what the fuck you're talking about. But you've been around here for a long time, and you've been supporting me for a long time, so I love you, you weird motherfucker. Melancholy Brumley. A. Congrats. B. AEW or WWE, or New Japan Pro Wrestling for the discerning gentleman. AEW, never WWE. New Japan, I've seen like 2 shows. They were fun. AEW. King Games 87, another longtime supporter, says, dude, congrats. You deserve this and much more, my dude. There's so much more to come, brother. You'll see. I hope so. Here's to the next one, dude. My question is, out of all your tattoos, which is your favorite? Been thinking of finally getting one myself. My Merlf. You fucked up that last word. Merlf. The next time, if I ever do like a full playthrough of an RPG game, I'm going to name my character Merlf. I don't know, man. My favorite tattoos, I got a lot of tattoos. I don't know how... Can this fucking thing come off? On this arm, I'm up to my elbow, and this just looks like one tattoo at this point. On this arm, I'm up to about here, and I got Sting. I got my straight edge tattoo. This is Lights. That's a heartogram. This is Venus Doom. That is Michael Jackson. That is a reference to a hymn. I don't even know if you guys can see this. That's a reference to a hymn song. That's Jack Skellington. That's my dog's paw. 616. I have a tattoo of a PlayStation trophy that I don't know if you guys can see. I don't know. I wrote Juventud on my hand, which is an inside joke between me and my buddy about his dog. My favorite one might be this... How the fuck am I going to show you that? It might be this 16-bit heart that I have on my left thumb. What a weird position this is. But that's a hard thing to answer because I don't know how many tattoos I have. 21, 22, 23, 24. I don't know. Dorde M. Jovanovic. If I fuck that up, you gotta let me know. Came for MK history, stayed for the rest. Congratulations, Ian, and keep up the good work, dude. Dan for life. You didn't have a question, but I read it anyway. You got a cool name. Thank you. Grandmaster ANT, what would you rather see next? Mortal Kombat 12, Injustice 3, or Mortal Kombat vs. DC 2? We are going to see Injustice 3 next. That's not what I want necessarily. It's just what's going to happen. And also I want Injustice 3 next, so that works out. Katir, I bet I butchered that, says, oh, I'm sorry I'm 10 hours late. Congrats, Ian, on 75K. You're not late. There's no such thing as late. Obviously, you made the cut. Question 1, will there be a Day of Reckoning 1 or 2 616 Nitro episodes soon? I don't own those games at the moment, and if you watch the WrestleMania 19 episode, my GameCube is actually dying. It took a shit on me as I was recording gameplay for that. So, probably going to have to get a new GameCube and both of those games. So soon, probably not. Question 2, is Raw 2 the next episode of Triangle X Squared Circle? See, now I know you didn't watch the WrestleMania 19 episode of TXSO because I said in that video, you also didn't watch the channel update because I've said twice now, the next Triangle X Squared Circle is called the Video Games of ECW, which is going to be a big project. Releases March 27th. It is March 8th, and I haven't even started it. So I have to get to work. Burn the Trolls says, congrats, man, you deserve it. Thank you. I really need to start reading these ahead of time. Sir Banaloo says, congrats, man, you deserve it. Question, are your thoughts on... Take 2. What are your thoughts on Lesnar beating the streak? If not Lesnar, then who? Or should he have retired undefeated? By he, you mean The Undertaker. Lesnar beating the streak, he didn't need it. He's fucking Brock Lesnar. It was a shocking moment. I'll never forget it. So in that regard, it was very cool. If I'm Booker Man, Undertaker retires. The streak is undefeated. You don't end the streak. Because then they also had him lose to Roman Reigns a couple years later. And what is the point of that? Roman wasn't beating the streak. The streak at that point was 2-0 because he had to start over. I don't get it. It would have been better to give it to Roman than it would Lesnar because Roman wasn't nearly as established as Lesnar. Lesnar is the choice. People say like, well, it's believable. Doesn't have to be believable. It's wrestling. It's not real. R.A. Diabolical says, okay, what is your social security number, your mother's maiden name, your first pet's name, your full address, your bank account, and card details? Go fuck yourself. Abhishek Verma says, congrats, Ian. I hope you get that silver button for sure. We're on our way. We are on our way. Man, give a reaction on that new MK movie trailer. Your commentary would definitely do something good. I keep rubbing my nose because my nose is fucking itchy. I don't know why, but I'm not picking my nose. Don't worry about it. It's just a knuckle rub. Just a knuckle rub. Give a reaction to the MK movie trailer. Check this out. It was good. I don't like reaction videos. I hate them. I think they are bottom of the barrel, zero effort content. And I don't mean that across the board. You can do reaction videos in a way that makes them entertaining or that sort of thing. I personally, I'm not going to do it. I'm never going to do it. When the movie comes out, I'll watch it. I will review it. And by that, I mean I'm going to watch the movie and take notes. I'm going to write a script. I'm going to record the voiceovers. I'm going to take clips and photos from the movie, and I'm going to edit those together and layer them on top of each other, because that is how I like to do shit. I'm never going to do reaction videos on this channel, which is a horrible business move, because I could do them, and they would be very big, probably a lot bigger than the shit that I do now. But I don't want to. Arturo Patino says, awesome work, Ian. With the success of the history of Mortal Kombat, which is how I discovered your channel, is a history of Street Fighter in the works somewhere down the line? For starters, are you a fan of the franchise? First part of the question first. Nope, it's not going to happen. Am I a fan of the franchise? It's fine. I think the last Street Fighter game I owned was Street Fighter 2 on Sega Genesis. So, obviously, like I said earlier, anything that I don't have like deep knowledge of, I'm not going to do a history of on, because history ofs literally take me 6 months to do, because I do 5 parts. I start them early. I release them one at a time. I can't do 6 months of work on something that I don't even know what I'm talking about, you know? And I guess I could do the history of Street Fighter, but it would be me doing research ahead of time, writing shit down, and then making a video where I want to do them. And I feel like you guys like what I do so much because I inject my personal stories into it. If I don't have personal stories to go along with it, what the fuck am I talking about? You know what I mean? It's not It's not connected to me at that point. And if I'm not connected to something, I'm not gonna write about it. Ratbrain210, who is a Patreon supporter and a mod on the Discord over on the link in the description. Congrats, Ian. 75K, that's amazing. Okay, here's some questions. Number 1, multi-part question. I heard that Konami is shopping around their franchises. Should Metal Gear Solid be remade and or rebooted without Hideo Kojima? Just remember that Metal Gear Survive was a cash grab. What are your thoughts about a Silent Hill reboot remake? One at a time. Should Metal Gear be remade without Kojima? I mean, if you did you hear how I said that? If you are Konami and you like money, you do it. I personally don't care if they do or don't do it. I'm not gonna play it. So they're gonna do whatever they're gonna do. When it comes to Silent Hill reboot or remake, that I'm in for. And if they do it, I'll be excited. My buddy Jerry Wilkins will be excited, host of the Guillotine Entertainment Podcast, which you guys should check out on SoundCloud. And I hope if they do it, it looks good. I know there are rumors about that, and there have been for a long time. So Silent Hill, I'd be way more excited than I would for Metal Gear. And 2, so the new MK movie trailer dropped. What needs to be in the movie? Who needs to be in the movie? Whose fatality needs to be shown? What Easter egg should you put in the movie if you had Final Cut privileges? One at a time. What needs to be in the movie? Violence, gore, cool fights. And if you watch the trailer, that seems to be there. So that is very good. Who needs to be in the movie? Scorpion, Sub-Zero, Liu Kang, Kung Lao. I think the people who need to be in the movie for the most part are there. People are upset that Johnny Cage is not there. But if this movie does well, we could be looking at a sequel, and they're going to kill a bunch of people in this movie, and then maybe you bring in Johnny Cage there. You can't do everybody all at the same time, you know? And with this movie, the main protagonist being an original character, which I don't like, you want to have an original character and Liu Kang and Kung Lao and Scorpion and Sonya and Jax and Sub-Zero and Goro. Go ahead, put Johnny Cage in the movie and enjoy his 90 seconds of screen time. You know what I mean? Kill off some of these people here in this first movie. Bring in a new crop. Johnny can be one of them and you got time. What the fuck am I talking about? What was the question? Whose fatality needs to be shown? As many as possible. What hidden Easter... Take 2. What hidden Easter eggs would you put in the movie if you had Final Cut privileges? Literally, like a tree or some obstruction and smoke peeking from behind it. Or Jade. Or who else peeked behind shit? Smoke or Jade? I like both of those. George Heken. Congratulations, bro. Tell us your top 5 5-star matches. That's a whole video. You think I know that off the top of my head? And am I calling these 5-star matches, or are we going by some dickhead writer's 5 stars? Which I couldn't name one of them off the top of my head, and I don't give a shit about that guy's opinion. So this could be a video down the line. Just some of my favorite matches of all time. That's a good idea. It's an idea I've had for a while, so that's very possible. Antonio Castro Carlisle de Melendez Etenerlife. That's a long fucking name, man. The word is spreading, and you'll be at 100K before anyone knows it, and I'm actually keeping track. The first time I've ever done that for anyone on here. It's pretty cool. I appreciate that support. Like Paul Lamoli said, it don't matter what you post, it's all good to me, and you've probably mentioned it before, but which do you think is better, WWF or WCW, and who's your all-time favorite wrestler? I've answered both of these before many times, but that's okay. My favorite wrestler of all time is Sting. This guy, or the tattoo that you saw earlier. I did a video on my top 10 favorite wrestlers of all time. I don't think you've seen that one. Go back and watch that. I'm very proud of that video. And WWF or WCW all fucking day. Hosea the Hunter, congratulations, brother. I do have a question. I've heard you say multiple times that you find WWE to be unwatchable. What would they need to do to bring you back? My ass is hurting from this chair. I've been sitting in it too long. Man. Here's the thing. People will tell me, like, WWE sucks, but watch NXT. It's the same thing. Now, hear me out. I'm not saying that Braun Strowman versus The Miz on Raw is the same match as Finn Balor versus Pete Dunne on NXT. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that visually there is almost no differential because it's the same guy running the production. His fucking name is Kevin Dunn, and it's been the same guy for decades now. Every WWE show you watch feels the exact same. All of the commentators sound the exact same because you're not hearing Michael Cole talk to you. You're not hearing Corey Graves talk to you. You're hearing Vince McMahon through the mouth of Michael Cole. You know what I mean? It's all the same, drives me nuts. Look at any time Jeff Hardy has done the swanton off the ladder spot to a guy through a table or through a ladder, because now they do ladders all the time. Every time they do it, there's the shot of, here's the table, and the camera's here, and we watch him come down. I could make a compilation of all the times they have shot that the exact same. And that fucking bugs me, because when you shoot it from below, you're totally killing the scale of how high he came down from. Shane McMahon does the elbow off the cell, blew all of our dicks off, and then they did it again a year later. The same shit, which immediately made it not special anymore. There are compilations out there of certain spots, like Braun Strowman, like doing this to a guy, and then he picks him up and power slam, and you can make a checkerboard of all the times he's done it, and it's always shot the exact same. Drives me nuts. I can't watch the show. I hate it. What do they need to do to bring me back? It just needs to be, someone else needs to be behind the camera. And some people say like WWE will be better when Vince retires or unfortunately dies. I don't like that. I don't want that to happen. But the reality of the situation is he's a man in his mid-70s. It's going to happen eventually. We're all going to die eventually. I don't think it's going to change at all, because I think Stephanie is going to be the one who takes over, obviously. And Vince McMahon has said a million times that he looks at Stephanie and he sees himself. I don't think she's going to change a goddamn thing. So WWE was never my go-to, and honestly, I don't think it ever will be. It's any time. When there was WCW, I was a WCW guy. When there was TNA, I was a TNA guy. Now there's AEW, and I'm an AEW guy. WWE is just not for me. Robot Rock says, we need a new Fight Night game. That's not a question. That's a statement. And I'm going to be talking about that soon. Maybe I wrote a script a month ago about this, and I've just been working too hard on other shit to get that one done. But spoilers, that's gonna be covered here. Isaiah 117 says, hey Ian, can you do a Mortal Kombat ranking tier list to see which one is awesome or bad, please? And I said, I did, over a year ago. Check the channel, my dude. And he says, I see, but can you send me the link, please? No! You're already here! I said check the channel. You're on the channel right now. Click videos, dude, it's there. Or type in ranking the Mortal Kombat games 616. It will be the first one that comes up. I promise you can do this. Mike F, and this is the last one, says, congrats, my question is, will all the Castlevania music that you add as a backing tracks to your videos, will you ever make a video ranking all the Castlevania games? No. I've not played all the Castlevania games. I've played I haven't played most of them. I've played 1, 2, 3, 4, Bloodlines, and a couple others. But after that, like I'm not balls deep into Castlevania across the board. I love those original 8 and 16-bit games, and that's kind of that's my Castlevania fandom right there. So some people ask me, can I do the History of Castlevania #1? No, because James Rolfe, the Angry Video Game Nerd, already did it. There's no way I could do it better than he did. And I just don't have the deep knowledge on it. And you say also, if Konami ever decides to release another Castlevania game, you should definitely do a History of Castlevania to get people hyped. Just told you why that's not going to happen. If I had that knowledge, I would do it, because Castlevania is dope. But, fucking Symphony of the Night is one of my favorite games. I can't believe I forgot that. But Dan, this was the 75,000 subscriber Q&A video. I hope that my face is in focus, because I'm having a hell of a time figuring out whether it is or not. The screen on my camera is too small. And last time I was not in focus. Focus was like back here. So if that happened again, I'm going to, I'm going to do this. But this was my Q&A video for 75K. I love you guys very much. I want to do one of these for 100K as soon as possible. So thank you to everybody who gave a question. Thank you to all 75,000 subscribers. And thank you to the 104 of you who are showing support on patreon.com/616entertainment. Because as I stated, that shit is life-changing. You have no idea. I love you. And I'll see you next time.